Well, this is day 2, and it's definitely looking a little bare in here. All we have left are cabbages, potatoes, and corn in the very back. And once we get that out, then we'll be totally empty. Hi, welcome to Caribou Country Lifestyle. My name is Cheryl. I was going to do the next early variety, but these Yukon Gold, the plants have died back now, and to me that's signaling that I think I need to pick these ones first. We got a bit of rain, probably about a half an inch overnight. It's a balmy 7 degrees today. Yesterday morning it was only 4, so it's warmer out today than it was yesterday. So I think I'm going to dig up some of these potatoes in the Yukon Gold. We need potatoes for dinner tonight. We have family coming over, and I am making meatloaf with mashed potatoes, so we definitely need some potatoes for dinner tonight. So let's see what we have in the Yukon Gold, and we'll just start right over here with this plant right there. Not much to the plant, it's all died back. This one is for over here. I have another one over there, so we'll just put that there and we'll see what we have. I mean, I see some right on the very top, and I'm gonna try and clean off as much of the dirt. It's not super saturated, even with getting a half an inch of rain, but I'll try and clean it off the best that I can. Okay, let's see, we got some babies. Yeah, really nice soil in here. Okay, let's dig up this next one and get some more potatoes, because I mean, I've gotten more in other hills. Let's try this one here. Got some attached. Grab those first. See what we have. A few right on the top. That's what I like to see. Quite a few going on this one too. Oh, and some babies. I'm just gonna come on this other side and see if there's any from a little deeper in. And this soil is actually, for the amount of rain, we must have needed it, because it's right underneath, it's still dry here. I was hoping to fill this up, which I'm sure we will with this next plant. I'm just mounding the dirt back up, and we'll move on down. See what we have on this one. Again, we got some babies. With those Jennifer, I probably would have had more than enough from 2 hills. And the Yukon Gold, I'm not getting quite as many. Come over here a bit. I planted them about a foot apart from each other. So Oh, there's another. Same issue over there where some of them weren't covered enough. This one here has got green on it. So I'm just going to remove that. And I see another one here too. Oh, I'll just take that one. I'm just going to cover these up. But I have another one right here that's got green on the top that didn't get covered up enough. I will just, oh, geez, I keep uncovering more potatoes. I'll just grab these. They're that close to the top. I will just grab them. I think that's going to be enough for now. That was 3 hills of potatoes. And my bin is practically full, and that was the Yukon Gold. So I am going to leave the rest of these potatoes, and we will leave the rest. I'm not going to pick this corn until tomorrow, because it's tomorrow night that we're supposed to get down to -1. And what I've decided for it getting down to -1 tomorrow night, I have decided I'm bringing out some flannelette sheets, and I'm going to cover them over my tomatoes, because our temperatures have changed now, and our daytimes are going to be 16, 17 degrees, so that's actually not bad, and we're not going to be getting below 0 after tomorrow night, and that could change as well. I'm going to have to check my phone, and because the temperatures have been changing and they're warmer than what we thought they were going to be. Just having a look, got all of my squashes behind my couch, but in a sunny window, and let them finish curing before we can put them into storage in down in the basement, and before we can actually start using these. Hi, so now that I'm finished in the garden, I got 10 cups of red onions thinly sliced. Today I'm going to be making pickled red onions. I've been wanting to find a recipe and make this recipe for a couple of years now. I've been in different restaurants, and I've had pickled red onions on a sandwich. I've had them on tacos. I've had it on nachos, and they're actually quite tasty. So I've been wanting to make it, and this recipe, I'm actually sharing it with my sister-in-law. She got us the red onions, and I'm the one with all the canning stuff, so I'm the one making it. So let's get started. I've got all my onions already pre-sliced, as you can see. Now I'm going to be making up the brine that we're going to be using for the pickled red onions. So we need 3 cups of vinegar for the brine. When I was looking for this recipe, the first recipe I found, it was not a canned pickled red onion, and that's not what I wanted. So then I ended up having to punch in canned pickled red onions, and then I was able to find a recipe for it. Next, we need a cup of sugar. So there's a 1/2 cup. The other half, 1 cup. And we need 3 tablespoons of pickling salt. Might as well just do it this way. I ended up buying more pickling salt because I knew it was the season to get, that we were going to be doing a lot of canning. Okay, 3 tablespoons of pickling salt. I'm going to bring this to a boil, and be stirring in all the ingredients. I'm going to use a slotted spoon for this because I will be using the slotted spoon to fill up my jars once we're at that step. So I might as well just use a slotted spoon now and get my brine. So we're going to bring this to a boil, and then I'll bring you back once we get to the next part of it. Okay, our mixture has come to a boil. Now I'm going to add all of these sliced tomatoes, all of these sliced red onion. Just push it this way, and then that way I won't drop them all on the floor. Oh, a lot of onions. Okay. So 4 pounds, this is 4 pounds, well actually it's just over 4 pounds of sliced onions. That's how many pounds you needed, was 4 pounds. I'll just stir these in. So I just want to get so that these onions are mixed in this, because once I get all the onions mixed in, then I have to turn this heat down and simmer them for 5 minutes without cooking the onions, because then I'm going to be canning them and they'll get processed that way. This in there a little bit better now. Incorporate it around. I'll turn my heat down, and then like I say, they have to simmer for 5 minutes. It says do not let onion get too soft. I'm also going to turn on my steam canner and get that going. Okay, to make sure that's at the back, my vent hole. And I'll turn this on to get this going. Got my timer set for 5 minutes. I've got my jars that I'm using in hot water. I'm just using the wide mouth half pints for this. I think that'll look quite nice in those little jars, and plus it's, you know, if you only want to use a little bit for a sandwich, then you're not opening up a big jar and having tons left over in the jar. I mean, and if you needed more, though, this would probably be good on pulled pork sandwiches too, I bet ya. Okay. There. They're starting to soften up now. I might even use tongs to fill the jars. That might be a better option. We'll see. I'm going to set up these jars. I'm just going to take them out of the hot water. I have 9 jars just in case. It said 7 or 8 jars, so I brought 9 up, just to be on the safe side. And in each of the jars, I have to get them ready before I even put anything in it. So I need 1 bay leaf. You should have seen me trying to go through. I just bought this pack of bay leaves, and they are so big that I was trying to pick the smallest bay leaves that I could find. Maybe I'll keep that one out. It's pretty big. And I'll fill up 8 jars And I'll keep this one just in case, and I'll use this biggest one for that. And then I need a sprig of thyme. This is thyme from my garden. So I went out there and picked the thyme as well. So I'll just push that into the jar. Just folding it right in there. Turn this bay leaf on its side so that it's not sticking up out of the jar as well. That one just doesn't want to be in that jar. So I've got all of these in, and then I've got the extra one here. I need 1/4 of a teaspoon of mustard seed in each jar. There's that, that. I can hear my steam counter. I'm just going to add a little bit because I think I might have been a little shy on that one. And then I need 1/4 teaspoon of allspice berries. And that's just whole allspice. These are not that easy to find. I did not find them in the grocery store. I ended up having to get them at a health food store, which I'm lucky that they even carried them. If you can't find whole allspice, you can use the same amount in ground allspice as well. I actually looked that up and it said you could do either or. Okay, I have all of those in. Now I'm going to start adding my red onion. These onions over here, and I'll just move this pot a little closer. Okay. I'll put a little bit more in there. Okay, we'll go to the next one. Try not to fill it too full. That's gonna look pretty with that sprigs of thyme and those little allspice, with the whole allspice in the jar. That's gonna look pretty, I think. It'd be a nice gift to give to somebody. I don't know, I got quite a bit here still. I don't know how, packed these have to be. They seem pretty packed. I might have to get some more jars. That means I'm going to have to go outside and pick some more thyme. I only got 9 sprigs. Unfortunately, in my steam canner, I'm not going to be able to fit 9 jars in here. Yeah, I'll need 1 more jar, for sure. So I will go down. Maybe I'll grab 2 just in case. I'm starting to pour the brine over, and I've already ran out and grabbed more time for the 2 more jars that I ended up filling. I need to make sure I have enough brine. I don't have any more, well, I shouldn't say I don't have any more. I was having a hard time finding more of this size of jar. It's not a big deal if it's not that size. I just need to make sure I have enough brine for these, because now I have 11 jars, which I wasn't planning on having this many. So now I have to make sure I have enough brine for all 11 jars. It's not a bad thing. Okay, I think I will look for 1 more jar, and maybe I'll do a bigger jar. I just have to put lids on my jars. I ended up just using a pint jar for the last little bit, and it actually filled the pint up just enough. So I got quite a bit. And then, and I didn't get an extra sprig of thyme in that pint. I'm just doing it without the thyme in that one. We'll see if that makes a difference in the taste at all. And then I'm going to screw my bands on, just finger tight. I've already wiped the rims with hot water. Sometimes I use hot water, sometimes I use vinegar to wipe the rims with. It changes from day to day. This, I'm just gonna see where we're at. We'll lift this lid off and we'll put our jars in. And one in the center. And then we set our timer for 15 minutes. Okay, I have canned both batches, and I'm just, once my steam canner was finished, then what I do is I let these sit on the rack and don't remove them from the steam canner, and I let those sit for 5 minutes before I take it out of the steam canner. I'm really enjoying this steam canner. You don't use anywhere near the amount of water that you would use in a water bath canner. And I did 2 batches back to back in less time than it would have taken. Now here's this one that I didn't have any thyme in it. I did put the bay leaf and I did put the whole allspice and the mustard seed in it, but I didn't go and get another sprig of thyme. So this is all I'm going to be doing for today. I dug up my potatoes. I showed you my squash that I have now in the living room. It's all right there in my living room window. That's the sunniest, brightest amount of warmth and light coming in that window, so they'll just stay there until they're cured, and then I can put them into storage for the winter. So I've got my pickled red onions done. I'm super excited about that, and that's all I have for today. I just want to thank you for joining me. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.